Hey guys, it's Tika and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. So if you couldn't tell due to the lack of face cam, I made a mistake. I forgot to record my audio. I was able to record like the face cam and such, but I'm just gonna keep that off except for occasions where I actually did what I think was a funny facial reaction. So yeah. I didn't know anything about the Ring DLC outside of the fact that there's a certain enemy that requires stealth and has a means to defeat it similar to the knights in the Sunken King DLC. I know that it had 4 bosses, one of which is optional, and that was about it. So I'm mostly going to try and give post-commentary thoughts about the game. Well, not about the game, about the DLC. And basically, it's just going to be the same. I'm also keeping the death counter from before, from, you know, the previous playthroughs, because technically we're still playing through the game and I have the counter still saved up. So I didn't quite know where to go here. As I said, I didn't know much about this DLC outside of the fact that it happens to be near the end of the game. That much I knew, but then I found out a little bit later that it's based in the Kiln of the First Flame, and also that it is a level 100 DLC, so it's basically saying, hey, you need to be level 100. I didn't actually have any new equipment, really. This is stuff I just bought later on, and also you can see that I found a small glitch of popping. I'm having to deal with, like, less frames on the playback just so that I can keep an idea of what's going on, and also mostly go by the audio. So I just go with that, oh, hey, 2 bonfires. I wonder if one of them is to the Ring City. And it turns out I never actually used that that bonfire on this playthrough. Because remember, this is technically after I had lost my save data, so I had to go all the way over from the start again. Now, I know I could have easily started again, you know, just went on my second character, my Sister Fried cosplay, but honestly, the facial reaction, I know I'm, like, banking a lot on the face cam here, but I like how my reactions are, and also, you know, when you react to something once, you're never going to react to the same thing again. And so now we're just going to wait for this to finish loading. So naturally, me being very, very paranoid, I light the bonfire and I slowly begin to venture out into the Dreg Heap, as it's called. And I realize at this point, oh, I'm embered. I'm probably going to get invaded. And I completely missed the, you know, hunchback lady person for a few seconds. I'm just kind of like, this is weird. This is interesting, but weird. And of course, like, you know, eventually...
Oh, your head's square on your shoulders, is it? I thought that clambering tin can was the last. But here we go again. What is it you want from this old stone-amped hag? I've nothing for you, not a smithereen. I just like to stand here and take in the view. Well, that came out of nowhere. You think an old stone-amped hag would be brimming with goodies? I've none of that, not a smithereen. At the close of the Age of Fire, all lands meet at the end of the earth. Great kingdoms and anemic townships will be one and the same. The great tide of human enterprise, all for naught. That's why I'm so taken by this grand sight. This must be what it's like to be a god. Oh, if you just can't stop yourself, at least hear this. Far below, there's a deep, dark hole carved out of a tree. From time to time, voices brim from the depths of the cavity even now. Mutterings of the very demon that Prince Lorien spoke of, I'm sure. Horrible sounds of an afflicted thing, yet cursing men. At the close, keep your marvels intact, love. At least until I lose mine.
So after talking with her, I'm just there like, hey, can I go over to this tower? And nope. It's really weird doing this commentary, you know, just being like, oh yeah, you know, here's the thing, you know, I did this, and then I decided to do this, and then I went like this. I did not believe, I know that it was developer, like, notes, but at this point I was just there like, I do not believe you worth crap. And, you know, I just didn't believe it whatsoever. Just not even for a second. But, you know, turns out they were telling the truth. They weren't being a bunch of asshats. They were generally, like, being honest here. And of course, at this point, my response was, so this is how it's gonna be, huh? Right. Just to give a little bit on the build here, I am using a dex-based build with a little bit of strength and faith to use the freed side. And I get invaded. Now, right off the bat, I'm thinking, okay, I have not played Dark Souls 3 for a very, very long time. So this might go very poorly for me. So basically, I was just kind of banking off my ability to fight well. So at this point, I completely forgot that I had the Way of the Blue Covenant on. So somebody got summoned in to save my ass, and I decided to let him fight. Honestly, I think I could have won the invade. I made a few mistakes here and there, but I generally believe that. I'm not even saying that in the sense of like, oh, well, you know, if it wasn't lagging, I could totally have won. No, I generally think I could have won the fight. I just made a few mistakes here and there. But in the end, it didn't really matter. The Dark Spirit was destroyed, and I was free to continue on my glorious adventure after he got hit. So when I saw this big guy, I was hoping he wouldn't notice me, but then Senpai noticed me. Senpai noticed me pretty badly. So we had a fight, as you would expect. Honestly, this enemy wasn't really that bad. I mean, yeah, he hit hard, but he wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad of an opponent, I guess is what I need to say here. I also have to apologize for like all these long awkward pauses between the commentary and such, but for whatever reason, the stuff that I'm using is not working so good. I might have to redo that, but at the same time, it's like most of my commentary, I'll admit, mine is just like talking about what's going on in front of me. Was just me going, okay, all right, now go over here, then here. Ooh, what's this? What's this? What's this? And such. It's just, I'll admit I'm not very good at commentary. I'm trying to work on it, but I There are things I want to talk about with this DLC, but I don't want to talk about it until I get to that point, you know? So I'm just going to stay quiet until then. Also, this weapon, I like this weapon, honestly. I haven't used it, I haven't upgraded it, but just the idea of it. You know, a dagger that becomes a rapier. To me, it seems like a cool concept. And here's the thing, I loved the weapons in Dark Souls 3's Ashes of Ariandel DLC. And I think this is, I've only seen 3 of the weapons, one of which I can't equip, and another one I couldn't afford at the time. And from what the description says of them, they're pretty interesting, but I will definitely say they don't sound as cool as, like, the claws or freed scythe or the rapier throwing dagger combo that you can get in Ashes of Ariandel. I'm not going to say the weapons were disappointing, but, you know. Also, this scared me shitless because I don't know why I didn't expect it, but I didn't, and now I'm in a library. And then I died. So there we go. I think I got around, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes into the DLC. And I got my first death. So there we go. I died. So obviously this time I wasn't going to fall for the same thing twice. So I was just walking around making sure that everything was okay. I knew that they were going to throw things like, you know, enemies dropping down. It's a cheap but common tactic used in action games, and Dark Souls have demonstrated that they like to do that, you know. In the Cathedral of the Deep, on the outer skirts area, there's an item which if you pick up, it's the ones with the full hood hat thing on them. That thing. And basically, I knew that was coming. So This is the angel enemies. The thing that's interesting about these is that they are completely invulnerable unless you find their quote-unquote controller and kill them. Kind of like the necromancer and the skeletons from the catacombs in Dark Souls 1. And they hurt, and they are invulnerable. Frankly, I also find them incredibly cheap. I feel that this first part of the DLC is completely ruined by them. And I'll go into detail about that once I get to the bit where, you know, the stuff happens. Here, I ran into a small predicament here because I didn't know how tough these enemies would be. Turns out they're actually really fucking tough. Now, here's something interesting, and it's something I don't quite get. For whatever reason, the Frayed Scythe can easily break the poise of these enemies. But the really big round guys get stunned quicker with the twin blades. Which makes me wonder if it's because maybe... I don't... It doesn't make sense to me even now. It's just like, one hit breaks the poise of those, you know, knights. But 3 hits, you know, from the twin blade, but 1 hit from the scythe doesn't stun the big guy, you know, the big, like, tree branch guy thing with a big old sword. That, I don't get how they, you know, I don't know. It's slashing damage. But for whatever reason, the poise damage is different between the enemies, and I'm not entirely sure why. Because as I said, I can hit the big guys 3 times with the twin blades, and they'll get stunned. But I can hit them. But I can hit the knight. I can hit the knights with. So I found out that these guys are the ones that cast that spell, and it kills them. I found that one out, and. For whatever reason, also that bleeds for some reasons. I don't know. But for whatever reason, the scythe doesn't stun the big guys. On the other side of the spectrum, 3 hits from my twin blades stuns the big guys. But no matter how much I hit the knights, they pretty much never get stunned. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's because of the ice element that's in the scythe, but at the same time, I don't quite know. I'm not sure how that was made. It's not really so much a complaint. I'm just... I just really like to know how and why. Because both the weapons are fully upgraded. They're both maxed out. Also, at this point, I start to realize that, oh, maybe, just maybe, the thing, these guys are going to infinitely respawn. Anyway, at this point, I think we're up to like 20 minutes, so I'm going to end this episode, and I'm going to get back to you with another Dark Souls episode. It's going to be commentated again, I'm afraid, because I think I played this for like an hour and a half, so sorry. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and eventually I'll get around to the non-stuff. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye!